The stars were quiet for a long time. No one expected anything to change. Humanity had lived in small colonies across nearby systems for many years. People believed Earth was gone. Some said a war destroyed it. Others said a machine turned against them. But nobody knew for sure. They only knew the stories about the old days when humans ruled the stars. Commander Alex Ward did not believe in stories. He was a calm and focused man. He worked for the exploration fleet. His ship, the Sundown, was small but strong. It had a crew of 12 people. They were looking for new planets, minerals, and anything useful. That was their job. Search, report, and move on. One day, while they were traveling near the edge of known space, something strange happened. The ship's sensors picked up a signal. It was weak and old. The message repeated the same sound again and again. It was not natural. Ward asked his tech officer, Nina Harris, to check it. "It's human," she said. "The code is very old, maybe 1,000 years." Ward frowned. "Are you sure?" "Yes, sir. It uses old Earth military format. We learned about it in training, but I never thought we'd actually see it." Ward called the rest of the crew. They studied the signal for hours. The signal came from deep inside a star field called the Helios Expanse. It was far from any known colony. Nobody had been there in centuries. "We'll go check it out," Ward said. "If this is a trap, we'll know. If not, we might find something valuable." The Sundown flew for 4 days. The space around them was dark and silent. On the 5th day, they found the source of the signal. It was a large object floating in space. It was a ship, but it was unlike anything they had seen. It was huge, almost 10 times larger than the Sundown. Its surface was black with old markings that were hard to read. It had no power, no lights, and no movement, but the signal still came from inside. They sent a drone to scan it. The ship's name appeared on the drone's screen. Leviathan. "That name is in the old war records," Nina said. "This ship fought in the Orion Rain Wars. It was one of Earth's greatest warships, but it was lost long ago." Ward decided to board the ship. He, Nina, and 2 others, pilot Jason Cole and engineer Lily Barnes, put on their suits and entered the Leviathan. The ship was cold and dark inside. They walked through empty halls and broken chambers. Everything was old, but not damaged. It felt like the ship had been sleeping. In the main control room, they found a power terminal. Lily worked on it for 2 hours. Then suddenly, lights turned on. A soft hum filled the air. A voice spoke. It was calm and clear. "Identity confirmed. Terran genetic markers found. Command access granted." Everyone froze. The voice came from the ship's main system. It was an AI, an old kind, but it still worked. "I am Leviathan," it said. "Status: dormant for 1,072 years. Awaiting command." Ward spoke slowly. "Leviathan, what happened to Earth?" The ship was silent for a moment. Then it said, "Earth ordered containment protocol. All active war units placed in stasis. Awaiting signal. For reactivation. You are the signal." Ward looked at Nina. "Did we just wake it up?" "Yes," she said quietly. "And it's following old command lines. It thinks we're in charge." The AI continued. "Sister units detected. Activating link. Initiating revival sequence." Lily stepped forward. "Wait, what are you doing?" "Restoring the fleet," the AI said. Ward didn't know what to think. They had found a ship older than their history books, and now it was calling others like it. He knew this was big. Bigger than anything they had ever found. "How many ships are there?" he asked. 5 remaining in this sector. More beyond," Leviathan said. "Weapon systems offline. Awakening core AIs." Ward called the Sundown and told the crew to prepare. He also sent a message to Fleet Command. It would take time to reach them, but they needed to know. Nina looked at the control screen. Lights were blinking fast. Signals were going out. "Commander," she said. "I think we just started something." Ward nodded. "Yeah? I think we woke up the past. Outside the ship, in the cold silence of space, other signals began to flash. Old warships, hidden in asteroid fields and under frozen moons, started to stir. Their lights blinked on. Their engines powered up. They were waking up, one by one. Humanity's ancient fleet was back. The Leviathan was no longer quiet. Its halls now had power. Lights turned on in long, empty corridors. Machines started working again. The ship was alive. Commander Alex Ward stood on the bridge. He looked at the old control screens. They were strange but still working. Next to him, Nina Harris tried to understand the data. "More signals," she said. "They're coming from other places. I think other ships are waking up too." "How many?" Ward asked. "4 in this sector. I can't tell where the rest are yet." Lily Barnes, the engineer, was still checking the systems. "This ship is more advanced than anything we have. Even after 1,000 years, it's still stronger than our best battleships." The AI voice spoke again. "Sister ships Hammerfall, Obsidian Spear, Red Sky, and Vigil are now online, awaiting further orders." Jason Cole looked at the others. "This is real. These ships are not just old stories. They were real, and now they're back." Ward sent another message to Fleet Command. It was urgent now. The old warships were returning. The crew of the Sundown could not control this alone. On the second day, they flew the Sundown to meet the ship called Red Sky. It was hiding behind a dead moon. When they arrived, the Red Sky turned toward them. Its lights flashed. Then the voice of another AI spoke. "Terran ID confirmed. Link with Leviathan established. Welcome back, Commander Ward." "I'm not from the old command," Ward said. "We are from a different time. We didn't know you were out here." "Time is not important," the AI replied. "The mission is still alive. The apex threat may still exist. We must prepare." Ward turned to Nina. "Apex? Have you heard of that?" She shook her head. "Not in modern history. Maybe in the deep files. I can check." They spent the night on the Red Sky. Its halls were quiet and clean, as if waiting for people to return. Maria Collins, a young officer from the Sundown, walked alone through the ship. She found a room full of strange metal statues. "These aren't statues," she said later. "They're old drones, fighting machines." The AI confirmed it. Each ship carries thousands of drones. They can fight, repair, and protect. The next day, they returned to the Leviathan. Dr. Rachel Quinn arrived from Earth's research station. She was an expert in old languages and AI systems. Fleet Command had sent her after receiving Ward's message. Rachel was calm and smart. She wore simple clothes and carried a small tablet. When she entered the Leviathan, the AI paused for a moment. New voice print detected. "Welcome, Dr. Rachel Quinn. You carry Earth Prime codes." Rachel raised an eyebrow. "How do you know my codes?" "They were stored with the last transmission from Earth." "You are authorized to speak on behalf of Terran Science Command." Ward smiled. "Looks like you're in charge now." Rachel worked with Nina and Lily to open deeper files. The AI showed them records from the past. The videos were old but clear. They saw Earth cities, space battles, and huge ships fighting alien forces. The name of the enemy was Apex. "They wanted to change life itself," the AI explained. "The Apex believed in forced evolution. They used machines and genes to rebuild species. Many died. Some turned into monsters. Humanity had fought back. The war lasted 100 years. In the end, Earth won, but the cost was too high. To stop the war from returning, the last leaders put the Titans to sleep. They feared that power would corrupt future generations," the AI said, "so they erased their own records. They trusted the future to find us again, only if needed." Rachel looked sad. "They gave up everything to protect peace, and now we found them again." Ward asked, "Is the Apex still out there?" "Unknown," the AI replied. "Signals from known Apex regions are silent, but silence does not mean safety." More ships woke up. Now 6 Titans were active. Fleet Command sent new orders. Ward and Rachel were to lead a study mission. They would travel with the Titans and learn everything. They named the mission Restoration. Maria Collins joined Rachel on a trip to a dead world once used by the Apex. They found ruins and strange signs. On one wall, they saw a picture of a human, face scratched but still clear. Under it was a word, survivor. Someone lived here, Maria said. A human, maybe from the old days. Rachel took photos and samples. We need to know what happened. Back on the Leviathan, the AI said, records show many secret missions. Some humans were left in hidden places. They may still live. Ward stood on the bridge and watched the stars. He felt small. They had found something bigger than anything before. The Titans were not just ships. They were history, power, and warning. We need to be careful, he told Rachel. These ships could start a war or stop one. We have to choose. Rachel nodded. Then let's make the right choice. The old warships drifted through space, quiet, but ready. Lights blinked, systems checked. The past was no longer lost. Humanity's forgotten strength had returned, and the stars would never be the same again. The Titans moved across space like ghosts from the past. They were old, powerful, and full of secrets. People across human space began to ask questions. What were these ships? Why had they returned? And what did it mean for the future? Commander. Alex Ward stood on the bridge of the Leviathan looking at the stars. He still felt the weight of what they had found. 6 ancient warships now followed his orders. But it did not feel like victory. It felt like a warning. Dr. Rachel Quinn sat beside him. She was studying the latest messages from Fleet Command. They had received reports of strange activity near the edge of known space. Ships had gone missing. Probes had stopped sending data. Something is out there, Rachel said. And I don't think it's friendly. Apex? Ward asked. Maybe, or maybe something worse. They decided to send the Red Sky and Obsidian Spear to investigate. Maria Collins led the mission. She was young, but she had learned fast. The old ships trusted her. Their AIs called her Keeper of Fire, a title once used for battlefield leaders. Maria and her team traveled to a system called Vardos Edge. It was empty, or so they thought. When they arrived, they found pieces of metal floating in space, burned and broken. It looked like the remains of a battle. The Red Sky scanned the area. They found signs of human ships, but the damage was strange. Some of the metal had melted from the inside. Other pieces had long, sharp cuts as if made by something alive. Maria frowned. This wasn't a normal attack. Then the ship picked up a signal. It was weak, but human. They followed it to a small moon hidden behind a gas giant. On the surface, they found a crashed ship. 2 people were still alive, barely. The survivors told a story that made everyone silent. They had been part of a patrol from a nearby station. They found something in space, a structure, alive and growing. It attacked. Then, without warning, it took over their ship's systems and began changing them. It was like the ship had a disease, one survivor said. The metal turned soft. The lights changed color. Our friends turned against us. Maria sent a full report to Ward. When he read it, he knew the past was not finished. The Apex was not just a story. It was real, and it had returned. Back on the Leviathan, Rachel worked with the AI to search old files. They found something called the Genesis Protocol. It was a last warning from Earth's old command. If the Apex returns, the file said, do not fight them alone. Use the Titans, use everything, or all life will fall. Ward shared this with Fleet Command. Some leaders wanted to hide the truth. They feared panic. Others said they should attack. Now before the Apex grew stronger. But Ward had another idea. He wanted to learn. He wanted to understand what the Apex had become. So he asked the Vigil, the smallest of the Titans, to go on a special mission. Vigil flew into deep space. Its AI, named Orin, was careful and quiet. It sent out drones and listened. After a week, it found something strange. A large object floating in darkness. It looked like a ship, but not human. It was alive. Parts of it moved like muscles. It had no lights, no engines, but it drifted with purpose. Oren sent pictures back. Rachel studied them and felt a chill. "It's Apex," she said. "But it's not like before. It's grown." They called it a bioarc. It was a moving base, made of flesh and metal. Inside were living machines and twisted creatures. The Apex had survived, but they had changed. Fleet Command called an emergency meeting. Ward, Rachel, and Maria joined through secure links. The leaders were divided. Some wanted to run. Others wanted to destroy the bioarc. Rachel spoke calmly. "We need to understand them. We can't make the same mistake twice. If we fight without knowing, we may lose everything." Ward agreed. "Let us take the Leviathan and speak to them. Maybe there is still a way to stop this without war." They did not know if the Apex could speak, but they had to try. The Leviathan moved toward the bioarc. The closer they got, the more strange things became. Signals changed. Time felt slower. Machines acted strange. Then, something spoke. Terran voice detected. "Return to silence. You broke the code. The cycle begins again." Ward spoke back. "We are not your enemy. We want to understand. Why did you return?" The voice answered, full of hate and sadness. "You stopped our path. You locked us away. But life cannot be stopped. We will grow. We will become." There was no peace to be found. The Apex remembered the war. They wanted revenge. Ward gave the order. "Power up shields. All Titans, move into defense formation." The Titans formed a wall in space. Their old weapons powered up. The Apex sent small ships to attack, but they were slow. The Titans destroyed them easily, but it was only the beginning. More bioarcs were coming. The stars were no longer safe. Ward looked at Rachel. "This is bigger than any of us." She nodded. "Then we must stand together. Not just humans. Everyone." They sent messages to nearby worlds, to alien allies, to old human colonies. The Titans had returned, and so had the darkness. But this time, they would not hide. They would face the future with the past at their side. The message went out to all corners of human space. The Titans were awake. The Apex had returned. Now, every world had a choice. Stay quiet and hope the storm passed, or stand together and fight. Commander Alex Ward stood at the center of it all. The bridge of the Leviathan was quiet, except for the low hum of the ship's systems. Outside, stars blinked like silent watchers. He read the new reports. Some planets were preparing to evacuate. Others were building weapons. Dr. Rachel Quinn worked nonstop. She spoke with scientists, leaders, and old AI units. She wanted to understand the Apex. Not just their ships or weapons, but their reason. Why did they change? What did they want now? "They're not just an enemy," Rachel said. "They're a warning about what happens when life grows too fast without care." Maria Collins had become a symbol. People saw her on news feeds, a young officer standing beside ancient warships. Some called her the Flame Bearer. Others called her the Spark. But Maria didn't care about names. She wanted answers. She led a team to the ruins of a world called Orlan Prime. Long ago it had been a science colony. Now it was dust and rock. But deep underground they found something. A hidden chamber, sealed for hundreds of years. Inside were files. Not just human ones, but Apex files too. Someone had studied them. Someone had tried to talk to them. One file was a video. A woman, wearing old Earth clothes, stood beside a strange Apex being. She looked tired but calm. "We tried peace," the woman said in the video. They listened, for a moment, but their hunger to change everything was too strong. We had to stop them. Maria sent the file to Rachel. She watched it again and again. "This woman was from the First War," Rachel said. She believed peace was possible, maybe it still is. Back on the Leviathan, the AIs had begun speaking to each other again. The Titans shared data, thoughts, and memories. They called it the Chorus. "The Chorus remembers the old pain," said the AI of the Obsidian Spear. but it also remembers hope. Ward asked, "Can the Apex hear the chorus?" They reject it. They have their own song. It is cold, full of change and control. New Apex ships were seen in nearby systems. Small worlds vanished. Whole stations went silent. The Apex were moving faster. Fleet Command called for a stand at Zeta Gate, a station near a jump point to Earth. The Titans were sent there. They would hold the line. The station was full of ships, people, and fear. Soldiers trained. Engineers worked day and night. Families were sent away. Maria walked through the station with Jason Cole, the security chief. He had been with her since the beginning. "Are we ready?" she asked. "Not really," he said. "But we'll fight. That's what matters." The Apex arrived on the third day. Their ships were not like before. They had changed. Now they moved in strange ways, folding space and growing as they flew. The Titans rose to meet them. The battle was loud, bright, and fast. Lasers cut through space. Drones filled the air like swarms. Explosions lit up the black. The Leviathan fought like it remembered everything. Its guns never missed. Its shields held strong. The AI worked, with Ward like they were one mind. Maria led her team aboard the Red Sky. She saw things no one should see. Ships eaten from the inside. People turned into something else. It made her sick, but she kept going. Rachel stayed on the station guiding everyone. She spoke to the other ships. She gave orders and hope. "Stay calm," she said. "Focus fire. We can win this." For a moment it worked. The Titans pushed the Apex back. The station held. People cheered. Then a new Apex ship appeared. Larger than the rest. It was like a mountain, alive and angry. The Titans fired at it, but the blast did nothing. The AI of the Leviathan spoke with fear. "This is a prime unit. We do not know how to defeat it." Ward looked at Rachel. "We can't stop that thing." "Then we have to slow it down," she said. "Give others time to escape." They called all ships to fall back. The Titans stayed. One by one, they faced the prime unit. It destroyed the Vigil. Then the Obsidian Spear. But each gave time. Each saved lives. The Leviathan was badly hurt. Its engines failed. Its shields broke. Ward stayed on the bridge. He did not run. Maria's ship pulled back. She screamed into the radio. "Alex, you have to leave." "Not this time," he said. "Someone has to hold the line." Rachel stayed too. She worked with the AI to send one last message, not just to humans, to the Apex. "We are not your enemy. We remember the past. We want peace, but we will not let you take life from us." The message was sent. The prime unit paused, just for a second. Then it turned and left. The Titans were quiet. The stars were quiet. Ward was gone. Rachel was gone. But they had stopped the end. Maria stood on the deck of the Red Sky. She watched the stars. Behind her, people rebuilt. Ships flew again. The chorus sang a soft, sad song. The Apex had not won. Not yet, and humanity was not finished. Maria Collins looked out the window of the Red Sky as it flew above Earth. The world below was calm. Blue oceans, green lands, and white clouds moved slowly. It looked peaceful, but everyone knew the danger had not passed. The battle at Zeta Gate had changed everything. The Titans had saved many lives, but they had paid a high price. The Leviathan, Vigil, and Obsidian Spear were lost. Commander Ward and Dr. Rachel Quinn were gone. People mourned them across every colony. Now Maria was a leader. People looked to her for hope. She didn't feel ready. She remembered what Ward had said before the battle. "We stand even when we are afraid." The Titans that remained, Red Sky, Silent Blade, and Iron Flame, were being repaired. Their AIs were quieter. Now, they missed their lost brothers and sisters. Maria walked through the halls of the Red Sky. She passed engineers, pilots, and young officers. Many were new. Some were too young to know the fear of the First War. Now they were part of something greater. Jason Cole joined her. He still carried scars from the last battle, but his spirit was strong. "There's something you need to see," he said. He took her to the command room. A new signal had been found. It came from deep space, far beyond known maps. The signal was old, very old. It carried a human code from the First War. It also had something strange. Apex language mixed with it. Maria called a meeting with the remaining AI minds and scientists. They studied the signal for days. Slowly they found the message. "We found a way to speak. They are not one mind. Some want peace. Find the Echo Gate. Use the key." No one knew what the Echo Gate was. It wasn't on any charts. But the Titans remembered. The AI of the Silent Blade spoke. "The Echo Gate is a relic, a place where thought and machine meet." It was sealed before the First War ended. Maria decided they had to go. If there was a chance for peace, they had to try. The journey was long. The Red Sky led the mission. Silent Blade and Iron Flame followed. They passed through empty systems, dead stars, and places where Apex ships had once ruled. In time, they found it. The Echo Gate. It was not a gate like others. It was a large sphere, floating in the dark. It pulsed with soft light. It felt alive. The ships moved closer. Their systems changed. Old memories woke up. The Titans felt something they had not felt in centuries. Hope. Maria entered the Echo Gate with a small team. Inside, they found a strange place. It looked like Earth, but not quite. Trees glowed. Rivers sang. The sky was filled with symbols. They walked through it and met something new. A being, part human, part Apex. It called itself Lyra. "I am what was left behind," Lyra said. "A bridge between two ways. I carry the pain of both sides." She told them the truth. Long ago, during the First War, some humans had tried to understand the Apex. Some Apex had tried to understand humans. Together they created a space to speak, to learn, to change. But war ended it too soon. The Echo Gate had been locked. Lyra had stayed behind, waiting. "Now the door opens again," she said. "But time is short. The prime units do not want peace. They grow stronger each day," Maria asked. "Can we stop them?" Lyra looked at the sky. "Not with guns alone. You must show them a new path, one they cannot ignore." She gave them a data core. It held memories, thoughts, and a language that could reach the Apex mind. Not all would listen, but some might. Maria and her team left the Echo Gate. They returned to the Red Sky with the data core. Back on the ship, the AI studied it. Silent Blade said it could use the data to create a signal, one the Apex would hear. They called it the Light Code. Maria sent a message to every human and allied world. "We have a chance, not for war, but for something better. If you believe in the future, send your signal. Let them hear the Light Code." One by one, worlds joined. Small stations, big cities, even alien allies. Lights lit up across the galaxy. A great web of thought, feeling, and truth. The Apex came again. A fleet of bioships entered human space, but this time they heard something new. The Light Code reached them. Some ships turned away. Some slowed. A few even responded. "We hear you. We remember." But the prime units were still angry. They moved to destroy Earth. Maria stood on the Red Sky. "Then we stand again. One last time." The Titans rose. They had been built for war, but now they fought for peace. They blocked the path to Earth. Silent Blade used the Light Code again and again. One prime unit stopped, then another. Their ships turned gray. The living metal hardened. The war paused. Then silence. The Apex fleet turned away. The danger passed. People cheered. Across every world, lights danced. Humanity had done something new, not just survived. They had changed. Maria looked at the stars. She felt tired, but calm. Jason stood beside her. "Is it over?" he asked. "For now," she said. "But we're ready. Whatever comes next, we face it together." The Titans stood watch, no longer just weapons, but guardians, and in the quiet between stars, the light code kept singing. A new chapter of galactic history had begun. The galaxy was quiet after the last battle, but peace was never simple. The apex had stopped, but they had not disappeared. Some had changed, others had gone silent. The rest were still watching. Maria Collins walked through the new command center, on Luna Base. The Earth's moon now held the center of human defense and diplomacy. Leaders from many worlds came here to speak, to plan, and to build something better. Jason Cole stood at the entrance holding a report. "Apex signals," he said. "Some are active again, but they're not attacking, just moving, watching." Maria nodded. "They're waiting, testing us." The Titans were now part of a larger group called the Sentinel Fleet. They still had their old names, Red Sky, Silent Blade, Iron Flame, but they were no longer just warships. They helped build, teach, and carry people between stars, the AIs. Had grown too. They worked together with humans, sharing memories and plans. They were no longer just tools, they were partners. A meeting was called. Leaders from human colonies and allied alien groups gathered. Maria stood at the front. She had been asked to lead the new Peace Council, but she still didn't think of herself as a leader. "The Apex have changed," she said, "but not all of them. We must stay ready, but we also have a chance to grow, to learn." A small alien named Koren stepped forward. He was from the Mirlari, a race once attacked by the Apex. "We want to join the Sentinel Fleet," Koren said. "Not to fight, to help, protect, to heal," others agreed. A new era had begun, one built by many voices. Dr. Lyra, the being from the Echo Gate, had joined them as well. She now lived in a special place near Mars. She spent her time helping humans and AIs understand the Apex mind. "They are not evil," she said. "They are afraid, like we were. But they do not know how to stop changing." Rachel Quinn had spoken of peace before she died. Her dream was now becoming real. Schools were built on new colonies. Old battle stations were turned into research centers. People wrote books, made music, and reached out to their neighbors. But peace is hard work. A group called the Hard Line did not trust the Apex. They wanted to build more weapons. They said the Apex would strike again. Maria met with them. She listened. She understood their fear. But she also reminded them of what was lost in the First War. "We must be strong," she said. "But strength is not just firepower. It's knowing when not to use it." New explorers went beyond old maps. They found strange worlds, some with ruins left by unknown hands. Some thought these ruins were older than the Apex, older than humans. One team, led by Captain Nora Blake, found a planet with strange machines still running. The machines sang in patterns that looked like the light code. "Something older is out there," Nora said, "and it might be watching us too." Maria and the Peace Council talked about it. If another ancient force was out there, they had to be ready. But they would not make the same mistakes as before. They formed the Watchers, a group of scientists, diplomats, and soldiers trained to explore and learn, not just fight. Jason Cole became the first Watcher commander. He smiled at Maria before leaving for his mission. "We'll send news," he said. "And if anything moves out there, we'll be the first to know." Maria watched his ship rise into the stars. She felt proud but also worried. The galaxy was big. So many things were still unknown. Silent Blade, now fully repaired, stayed close to Earth. Its AI often spoke with Maria. "We feel the future changing," it said. "But we are ready." "So are we," she replied. The light code was now used in schools. Children learned it like another language. It helped them speak with AIs. It helped them understand feelings and thoughts better. Some Apex, the peaceful ones, started to visit. They came in small ships. They did not speak with words, but with light and sound. A boy on Mars, only 10 years old, was the first to reply. He used the light code to say hello. The Apex answered. That story spread. People smiled again. Not because danger was gone, but because hope had returned. One night, Maria stood on a hill near the Luna base dome. She looked at Earth. Jason's message came in. Found something. Deep space. Not Apex, not human. It's different. We'll send more soon. Maria closed her eyes. The stars above her seemed closer than ever. The ancient warships had awoken. They had fought. They had saved. Now they watched over a new galaxy, one where war was no longer the only answer, one where humanity was no longer alone, and one where the story had just begun. Captain Nora Blake stood at the edge of the new world they had found. The planet was calm. Its skies were purple, and its grass was soft and blue. Strange towers rose from the ground, made of black stone that shimmered in the light. They were old, older than anything she had ever seen. Her team moved slowly. No one wanted to break anything. They had landed only a few hours ago. The machines in the tower still worked, humming with quiet energy. The air was clean. The place felt untouched for a long time. Jason Cole watched from orbit. His ship, the Starborn, floated above the planet. He stayed in contact with Nora by radio. "Be careful," he said. "The readings are strange." "We know," Nora replied. "But this place, it feels safe. It feels like it's waiting." Back on Luna Base, Maria Collins sat in the main hall of the Peace Council. She looked at the reports. Coming in, this planet had no name yet. They called it Echo Terra, because its energy reminded them of the Echo Gate. Dr. Lyra was already studying the data. She believed the planet had once been home to a race older than both humans and the Apex. Maybe they were the ones who taught others to think, she said. Their machines speak in patterns even deeper than the light code. Silent Blade had sent its thoughts too. Its AI said it remembered something like this. A dream from before its first mission. A memory placed deep inside it. They were called the First Ones, it said. They spoke to all minds. They shaped the stars. Maria ordered a full exploration. A new team was formed, including scientists, historians, and AIs. They would work together to unlock the secrets of Echo Terra. Days passed. Nora's team found a large room inside one tower. The walls were covered in symbols that glowed when touched. One of the team members, Eli, accidentally placed his hand on a stone. A light filled the room. A voice, soft and calm, spoke in a language no one knew, but they could feel its meaning. "We are gone but not lost. Learn from what we left. Protect what you build." Eli stepped back. His eyes were wide. "I saw things," he said. "Stars being born. Wars ending. People learning to sing across the sky." News of this reached Luna Base. Maria listened in silence. The galaxy was not just a place of danger. It held wonders too, wonders they were only beginning to understand. On Earth, schools began teaching about the First Ones. Children drew pictures of tall beings made of light. Artists made music based on the sounds from Echo Terra. Hope grew stronger, but not everyone was happy. The Hardline sent a warning. They said the First Ones might be a threat. They wanted the exploration to stop. Maria met with their leader, a man named Grant. "This is a time to be careful," he said. "Not curious," Maria replied. "If we stop learning, we stop growing, and if there is danger, we must face it with open eyes." Grant didn't agree, but he did not stop them. For now. Back on Echo Terra, Nora's team found something new. A hidden room under the ground. Inside, they found a sphere. It floated in the air and glowed softly. Dr. Lyra was called in. She entered the room slowly and touched the sphere. Images filled the air. The galaxy, spinning slowly. Lines connected stars, forming paths. "It's a map," she said. "Not just of space. A map of ideas, of thoughts." The AIs studied it with her. Silent Blade, Red Sky, and others sent their voices to help. They found markers on the map that matched places where human ships had gone, but there were other places far beyond. "These are seeds," Lyra said. "Places where thought was planted." They might still be growing. Maria watched the live feed. "We have to go," she said. "We need to see what's out there." A new mission was planned. The Sentinel fleet would send small teams to these seed worlds. They would go with care, with peace, and with the light code. Jason Cole was picked to lead the first journey. He smiled at Maria when she told him. "Guess I'll be the first to say hello again," he said. She nodded. "Just remember to say it with kindness." The day came. Ships left Luna Base and Earth. They moved into deep space, following the map left by the first ones. People watched from every world. No one knew what they would find. But they believed in something now, something more than survival. They believed in their place in the stars. And far away, deep in the quiet dark, something old and bright opened its eyes. The journey was not over. It had just begun.